We're here today with second-year head coach Cody Garcia of our Baker Wrestling program. Coach, you guys are getting ready for the Dan Harris Open to begin your season this Sunday, November 6th. But you've been in your preseason mode for a while. How's the team shaping up, and how's the preseason treated you?
You know, it really has gone well. It went quick. I think that's kind of something that you get used to, that it moves a little quicker than you plan on it, and you have some things that you want to accomplish during it. And we've done a good job kind of chipping away at some of those things. But I think, also knowing that the national tournament's still a long ways away here in March, so, just being smart with how we're training. But you guys really, again, they really embraced it. And this year it was nice, because so much last year was about unity, trying to bring these guys together, get them to understand kind of my philosophy. Where this year, even though we have 13, 14 new guys, at the same time, like, they have those older guys that have been through the grind of understand kind of what my expectations are, to pull them along and kind of show them the ropes of it all. So it went quick. We've been lifting 2-3 times a week, and the last 4 or 5 weeks here we've been on the mat. Been really efficient with what we're doing on the mat. It seems like they're in a good place right now. I think at the same time though, we're ready to compete. You get to a certain point where you put that much work in. You want to make sure to go out and kind of showcase that work you've been putting in, and you've been wrestling the same guys for 4 or 5 weeks. You want to make sure those moves that you've been working on are going to work at the next level and against some top level guys.
Like I mentioned, we've got the Dan Harris Open coming up in a few days. How many Wildcats will be competing, and also, what's the total number of wrestlers look like? Who's coming out here on Sunday?
So we'll have about 30 guys competing this weekend, and we've stayed relatively healthy. We got a few guys that are, we're going to play it safe with, and maybe not stick them out there quite yet, but I think they're, right back on their plan to get back in. Got a few guys working on their descent plan at the same time. We're trying to get them where they're ready to compete at a high level, but not rushing them back at the same time. So out of those 30 guys with 10 weight classes, we got a good even spread. So I would look for most of the brackets to be 60-man brackets. So it's great. It's pretty fan friendly. I expect and hope to get out of there by 3 o'clock, especially being on a Sunday and be the first tournament of the year. I think that's a good timeline for us. We got a good mix of D2, NAI, junior colleges here, which is nice, where we get to see some local kids, some familiar faces, but at the same time, give ourselves an opportunity to go test ourselves against some quality competition.
If you can for us, who are some of those individuals that have shined so far? I know you've got a returning national champ in Victor Hughes, but and a few past national qualifiers. But who are some wrestlers that have shined so far this season?
Well, they've done a great job. I mean, very, very disciplined. There's a handful of guys that are moving weight classes. I think they just kind of felt like it would fit into their game plan a little better as far as getting dedicated to the process. Putting themselves in a position where they can be the best version of themselves. So they've done a good job with that. You'll see Zane Ball is coming down from 33 down to 25. He's been wrestling really well. He's really committed this summer. There's a couple guys down there. Him and Logan both have done a great job. Just working together, both Abilene boys. So they've been able to train through the summer together, and it shows that they've been putting in the work. Tyler Dickman's another one getting back down. We got Colby Waters working to get his weight back down. But those guys are both dynamic wrestlers, and I'm excited to kind of let them out of the den, and let them go eat, because they both been putting in the work. 41, we got Juan's coming back in there. He redshirted last year, and we're still working on Dane, trying to get him down to weight. I think he's going to go 49 this weekend. But at the same time, those are two guys that, man, it's a joy to watch. I get to have popcorn in the corner and just get a front row seat to this show. So having both those guys back in a Baker singlet, that'll be exciting again. Like you said, Victor Hughes kind of been a staple now, right? Vintage Vic we talked about a lot last spring, but I think he's ready to go embrace that target on his back. I think that's something that's exciting. Not everybody gets the privilege and opportunity to feel what that's like, and he's definitely putting in the work, and he's still getting better each day. Moving up the lineup, there's a handful of guys in there, some transfers in there that are doing really well, that I'm excited to see step out there. But then you got guys like Jonathan Blackwell, who's a 2-time national qualifier, Rumsfeld guy, that's getting back in there. He redshirted last year as well. Nick Moore, he's also done a great job trying to get him back in the lineup. He battled with some injuries last year, but he's done a great job, and he's a fun one to watch. He's gonna make his mark on this year. And as like I said, as you go through that lineup, you got some seniors, you got some new guys, all the way up through. Some at 97, same thing. You got some guys that have been on the mat, and some guys that redshirted last year. That man, they're ready to step in there. But overall, there's a good feel for the program, the direction of it, and these guys are leading the charge.
Well, Coach, really appreciate your time. We'll talk to you throughout the year, but good luck Sunday at Dan Harris Open.
Yeah, thank you.